G'day, mate, and welcome back to Dyson Sphere with me, Judy, and of course, the wonderful Mr. Icarus Prime. Today's episode, I have a plan. I have a very important plan, and it's going to be our next steps plan. But first, I need to, head back towards, our tower. Then we need to talk about this planet. So, this planet, I have come along and I have, tapped everything and fed them into this lovely tower. At the same time, I have, tapped in a whole bunch of iron ore and, basically got everything hooked in this tower so it can be shipped home. But there's a couple of things that I haven't done, a couple of things I still need to do, and a couple of things we need to talk about. Most of them being future plans. So, future plans-wise, can I hook that belt into there, please? Cool. Future plans-wise, we need to talk about our limitation, our hassle, our biggest concern. Our biggest concern is, it's actually going to be copper. And I need to explain why. Okay, first off, we have a limited amount of copper on this planet. We only have about 500,000. And on our homeworld, we have just on about 1 million. And so what I want to do as a Christmas gift and a Christmas miracle is I want to convert my coal into copper. And you might say, Jenny, why do you need copper? Copper's not that important. And I would tend to agree with you, except as you work your way through the game, it becomes more important. The main thing we're spending, our copper on currently is research. In fact, that's our main goal at the moment, to complete as much of the research as possible, unlock all the things, get all the technology up and running, at which point we can really start taking on, the dark fog. But research-wise, yellow research. This is the latest one we just got up and automated. It's now completely automated with things shipping back to the homeworld, and it requires titanium crystals. Now, titanium crystals come from titanium and from organic crystals. Organic crystals come from, plastic, which is oil products, plus also, energetic graphite, which is coal, also oil, also water. So that one's pretty easy to make and doesn't require any copper. The other item they require is diamonds. Diamonds come from energetic graphite, which comes from coal, which means yellow science doesn't have any copper components. That's very good, very important. Red science. Red science comes from hydrogen. Hydrogen comes mainly from oil, so again, that's a petroleum product. I don't have to worry about that too much. And it also comes from energetic graphite, which comes from coal, so this is really a coal product. I've got 9 million coal, so I'm pretty confident on my coal front. And then we talk about blue science. Now, blue science, for every one blue science matrix, we need to have one green circuit and also one magnetic coil. For one green circuit, for 2 green circuits, it costs me 1 copper. And for 2 magnetic coils, it also costs me 1 copper. So for 1 magnetic coil, it's going to cost me half a copper. For 1 green circuit, it's going to cost me half a copper. Therefore, every single blue matrix is going to cost me 1 piece of copper. That's okay. That doesn't sound too bad. But that's not the end of it. I need to have more science. A lot more science. And in the tech tree, the next science that we need to unlock is going to be the information matrix. Now, the information matrix, again, has 2 items in its recipe. One is particle broadband. Particle broadband is right here. It looks like fiber optics. It costs carbon nanotubes, which comes from mainly petroleum products, also some titanium, also crystal silicon, which comes from, silicon, and also plastic, which comes from oil. So we're good there. No copper content. The other item it requires is going to be 2 CPUs. Now, for me to get 2 CPUs, I need to have, 2 circuit boards. I also need to have 2 microcrystalline components for 1 CPU, and I need 2 CPUs. That means I need 4 of you guys, which means I need to have, 2 pieces of copper for the circuit boards, plus I need to have 4 pieces of copper for the microcrystalline components, which means every single purple science is going to cost me 6 pieces of copper. That could be a problem. That could be a severe problem. And if we just check our research very quickly, for me to find more copper, I need to leave our system, because I do have a third planet, and the third planet is blessed by the copper gods of RNG with only 150,000 copper. So I really need to go to another system to find more copper. And I believe you are the closest. Yes, you are the closest, at just 3 light years away. And it turns out Icarus can fly here in about 53 minutes. So it will be a little bit of a jaunt, a little bit of a travel, a little bit of a wander to get there without using fast and light technology, warp technology. Now, to get warp technology, I'd have to research. I'd have to be able to research. I have to be able to produce warpers, and then we can fly Icarus there instantly. Or at least close to. Also, I could fly the logistics vessels there pretty much instantly as well. But I don't have any idea if this actually has copper and how much copper it has. Hence, I sort of need a couple of researchers there as well. So we need to talk about what we need. What we need to get Warper Tech is down here. I need to unlock warpers, which needs 1,200 blue science, which is going to cost me 1,200 pieces of copper. And that'll let me unlock warpers, also let me make a graviton lens. But a graviton lens requires diamonds, which is coal. That's not too much of an issue. It's also going to require some of those green things. Those green things look like the pink things from earlier, and they are strange matter, which I also need to unlock. We're going to have some copper cost in actually making some warpers, but that's probably fine, as long as we don't run completely out. But I do need to unlock this, which is another 1,000 science packs. So we're at 2,200 science, therefore 2,200 copper in just blue. On top of that, to make these things, they're actually made in a particle collider. Can't make them anywhere else. So I need to unlock this one as well, which is another 800 science. So we're at 3,000 science, therefore 3,000 copper. Now, to make a particle collider, it requires a couple of items to complete the recipe. It requires some CPUs, again, some copper. Requires some graphene. Yes, graphene. That's oil. But that's perfectly fine. It requires some of the supermagnetic coils, which do have a copper content. Not too much, but that's probably okay. Titanium alloy being the very first item, which is okay. That's titanium. And steel and acid. That's all right. Doesn't cost any copper. But also requires those square things. Those square things are up here. And the good news is they don't cost any copper. The bad news is it's another 1,200 science packs. So what are we at? 4,200, roughly. Piece of copper. But these are unlocked behind high strength material, which is down here. So I also need to unlock this. So we're about like 4,200. We'll call it with some products and everything else. 4,500. 4,500. We'll call it 4,500 copper just to get the science done to make warpers. But that's not going to tell me where we're going and what's at the other end. To do that, I need to have a couple more researchers. I need to have this research here. This research here is going to cost me 1,000 purple, also 1,000 blue. So we're now at 4,500 with another 1,000 blue science. That's 5,500, so 5,500 copper. But you cost 6 copper each, so that's 6,000 copper. So we're at a good 11, we'll call it 12,000. 12,000 copper total for, this particular research. Now, the catch is, even with that particular research, I can't fly Icarus at warp speed. To do that, I need to have a little bit more research. I need to have the drive engine Mark IV, which is another 2,000 blue science. So another 2,000 copper. But that also requires Mecha Core level 4, which is all the way up here, which costs 500 blue. That's not too bad. It's just 500 science, but it also costs 500 the purple. It's 6 copper each. That's another 3,000 copper plus the blue, 3,500. So we're in a good 20-ish, 25-ish thousand copper total just on research. But on top of that, for me to fly the logistics vessels, they're using the power of Warper. They also need to have this one, which means they need to have this one and this one and this one and this one. So that's another 400, 600, it's another 1,000, it's another 800, we'll call it 2,000 for easy numbers. So we're at another 2,000 copper out of the list, just short of 30,000, with another 6,000 here and another 1,000 there, 7,000. We need about 40,000 copper. 40,000 copper to just have the ability to start warping. Now I do have in the system, we're not poor. We do have, 1.5 million, we'll call it 1.7. We've got a decent amount of copper. We're not probably going to run out anytime soon. But copper does have one other big use, and that is in ammo. Obviously, the magazine ammo costs copper. The missiles also cost, 6 copper, plus a couple of green circuits, which has a cost of copper as well. Plus the combustor units, that's okay, that just costs coal. And then we have, the engines, which have a base cost of copper, which could be problematic. So our plan is, like I said, I want to start converting my coal into copper, planetary-wide, system-wide, in fact. And to do that, we need to do a few things. The first thing I need to do is wander back to that tower. First thing I need to do is I need to do this research. Okay, so this research is going to give me plus 10% mining speed, also minus 6 ore loss per mining operation. If I look at a miner, I can see that the ore loss is 94%. So every single time you mine out, 100 pieces of ore, come out the back of the machine, only 94 ore disappear from here. So it's going to save us a little bit more ore. It's going to stretch the ore a little bit further. That's going to be step number 1. Step number 2 is, like I said, we're going to go home and we're going to start converting all our copper into all our coal, or a good portion of our coal, into copper. And that is when I've now told you about our list, and our list of plans is when I ask the very important question, and that is, of course, well, can I borrow a like? I just like to borrow a like. I like to borrow a like early in the video. If you didn't enjoy the video, you didn't think the like was worth it, you didn't like the Christmas gift of taking away the Christmas coal and turning it into Christmas copper, that's okay. You can have your like back. Also, at the same time, I should mention some mods. We have this mod here, which is great. There's you guys see exactly what's in the tower. I know what's in the tower, but I thought this would be helpful to represent what's going to be in towers in the future. The other thing I want to do is I want to remove this box, which is where we had all our missiles stored up from here, and I'm going to put missiles in here and select all those, throw them in there, and cap you down to like 500-ish. We'll just do 1,000. We'll do 1,000. We'll do 1,000. So, you know, we actually have access to the missiles in the network should I need to. All right. So, with our plan out of the way, we're going to head home, preferably avoiding the dark fog. Oh, they're all over there. Cool. And they are mining the crap out of this poor planet. Yeah, okay. It's fine. All right, so we're going to send Icarus Prime home. And at the same time, we're going to set up some science as we fly. I did finish off the science that we set up last episode, so we can fly a little bit faster than we could previously. I can do 2,000 meters per second. My problem is I don't have enough fuel or enough energy storage to actually get to 2,000 meters per second. And that is our logistics vessels going back and forth, picking up stuff. Okay, what I want to do is I want to set up some science. So I want to get a couple of things done. Let's go with technologies first. Okay, I want to get this researched and this researched. Okay, also want to get this researched. We're going to need them in the future. Back on our upgrades, I want to get distribution range of our fidget spinners upgraded so they travel further. Also, this one. This is going to make the fidget spinners and the bots that we haven't got access to, or we haven't built any of yet, also fly a little bit faster. And the research after that one will actually make the logistics vessels, the bigger guys that are currently flying between planets, also fly faster. But for the moment, we need to come home. I need to drop off some stuff. I need to do some things. Also need to upgrade the mall eventually. And I need to start converting, well, all of that very precious coal into more precious copper. So first place we're going to go is to the mall. We're going to head to the mall. It seems like a good spot to stop afterwards. I should also mention that I haven't just installed the mod for, well, the ability for us to see what's in a tower. I've also installed a UX Assist mod. That's the name of it. And it does mean that, yes, I can scroll around the planet and say, hey, Icarus, right-click and move there. And he'll just move there. Yeah, he's also been made a little bit smarter. So if he can't walk through something like a pebble that gets stuck under his toe, he will jump and fly over things. The other thing it does, and this is the main reason it's been installed, is if I bring it up, it has this sunlight at night feature, which I think is very, very important as a content creator, so you guys can actually see what we're doing. All right, I want to stop here. Fidget spinners. Yes, I want to stop at the fidget spinner box. And I want to grab all 200 fidget spinners, and I want to open that box. I want to make sure you have fidget spinners in that box, and then we want to come over here. I want to dump some stuff out of my inventory first. We have some work to do with the fidget spinners, but we'll get there in a second. So I want to put a box there and have an output, give you a power pole, because I brought back a whole bunch of that I don't want in my pocket anymore. All right, next thing I want to do is I want to put a box here, or a hat there, and a hat there. Okay. Can I remove that, and that, and that, and that? Cool. I want to open this one, and I want to say distribute to other distributors, and that's all I want to do there. And this one, I want to also say distribute to other distributors. Okay, so now the fidget spinners can fly materials from these two boxes to other boxes that require engines and green engines. And this box is designed to always stay full, as we have 3 in and 1 out. This one's also designed to stay always full with 3 in, and therefore, you know, they should always have resources in them, which is really what we want, because I want to go to our next couple of boxes being, well, I want to start this end and open each one of these, and this is how them all set up. So they all auto request fidget spinners, and all you have to do is open them once, and if they are not full of fidget spinners, they'll get fidget spinners. Can I also change you to request and you to request? We'll come back to you two in a second. Click on you, click on you, click on you. How many fidget spinners do I have left? 56. Can I put fidget spinners down here so I can keep an easier eye on them? 17, 7, and we're out. Okay, so we made it this far. I still need to click on a few things and put fidget spinners in them, but the first thing I want to do is I want to stop here. I have green engines here, and I have this single machine that's making green engines, feeding them into here to make a green belt, except I want more green belt. So what I want to do is I want to grab some belt from here, bring the belt up to height 1, take it over the top of this belt, and bring it to here, and then bring it down to ground level. Okay. With that done, I want to take excess green engines out of here and bring them into here. You might be saying, JD, hang on, you're taking green engines from here, you're putting them in this box, and then you're moving them from this box around to here. And that would be entirely true, except this is now requesting them from other places. So they are flying over to this green box, taking them from this green box, bringing them to this green box, and then putting them into this machine, which means I should be able to make belts way faster and make sure this box stays topped up. I'm going to think it's going to be so much faster. You're going to need a second sorter to make sure I have all the belt, because I want all the belt. All right, that's the first thing I want to do. Second thing I want to do is I want to make sure that we take steel and we shove it out, and I want you to request from other places. I want you to request from other places, and I want to make sure I get iron out of here by running on top of the steel belt and over to here, and then down to ground level and tucked into there. Okay, because we already know that iron is something that, well, the mall struggles with. It uses a lot of iron, it doesn't produce enough iron, and the one belt that comes in is a good amount. It's enough to get things rolling, but it's not enough to get all the things running. So we're going to use the fact that I can request items into here and therefore have extra. Now, I don't have any place they can get iron from currently, but we'll work that out in the not too distant future. Same applies for steel. The couple of steel smelters we have here is not nearly enough to keep this running at full speed, but the fact that we can request things in here means I can boost the production from somewhere else. All right, we need to, no, land. I need to open that one to make sure you get your fidget spinners. I also need to open, okay, we did ammo. Ammo box can have more ammo. Does Icarus have ammo? He does. We can open that one. We can open that one. And I'm out of fidget spinners again. That's fine. Next thing I want to do is I want to swing along here and I want to grab those. So I want to grab 50 of those. I also would really like to grab some blue belt. If there is blue belt, probably blue belt. Blue belt. Cool. Blue belt. We're going to take you up a little bit more. I want more blue belt. I also want to make sure I get a whole stack of blue splitters. Yes. The other thing I want to do is obviously put the rest of the hats down. These are all going to say insufficient bots because, well, I don't have any bots in my inventory. And if I had bots in my inventory, they'd go down automatically. Okay. With that done, I think we're good. I think we're set up. I think we got everything done. I can pack you up because our friends are not going to come back here. And you, and grab that belt, and that belt, and that belt. And how much of that can I destroy in one click? Potentially all of it. Sure. 900 rounds. Okay, we're going to drop them off in a box on the way back. Hey, okay, box, ammo. Okay, and I never set up, okay, you're empty. I need to set up silicon, which is going to come down, which belt? That belt. Okay, we're going to raise you to height 1, height 2, and run you through to here. And then behind the oil the oil pump, because, yep, luck. And then plug you into there. Cool. All right, so then I'll get silicon down there if I ever have any silicon. I have a problem with silicon currently, and that is tied to the amount of ships I don't have. Can I grab those? Cool. All right, next thing I want to do is we've got a couple of researches. Not a lot of researches done, but since we were last at the mall, we do have a couple of researches done. We've got a couple of things unlocked. In fact, if I stand right here, I know that this has energy exchanges. I have that recipe. I can now build energy exchanges. And I could go through the whole mall again. I can set up every recipe and just confirm that everything's unlocked. Or I use the power of blueprints. If I go into my mall, there's now an assemblers only blueprint with 80 assemblers, which means you could put this down right at tier 1 level. And I want to place that here. And that is every assembler lined up with every other assembler. And that instantly sets all the recipes. So you can now start producing, and therefore, hopefully, I can get out a energy exchanger, because I'd like to have at least one of them. Do I have enough materials? I do. Excellent. Okay. I want to get you up and running. You are going to be very, very important because you'll let me charge accumulators. Accumulators we're making right here. And I have some of them in stock, but I want more of them in stock. Come on, craft faster. I want more of them in stock because, well, I want to start using them to make, well, these things. These things require accumulators. And if I pick you up, you're going to go over there, you're going to get jumped down, and you will start using our excess power. If we look here, we have the yellow power is used, the purple power is excess power I'm using to, well, run the energy exchanger to charge up accumulators one at a time. Okay. All right, so we want to go, and like I said, I need to go over here and, I need to, we'll fix that later. I need to take up some boxes that are doing nothing. I need to, well, upgrade this belt. Yeah, you can all run faster, and I have no copper, but I do have some extra vessels, so we can throw some extra vessels in there so I can go pick up stuff faster. I'm going to cut you back because I don't need iron ore on the planet yet. We still have our own iron ore, and I really want to start preferencing heavily picking up more high purity silicon and titanium ingots. But what I do need is I need foundation. Can I grab a few of those? And we are going to grab these 2 coal patches, because with these 2 coal patches, I need to start the process of turning our Christmas coal into Christmas copper. So we're going to remove this copper belt that's going to be in our way, and remove all that, and then we're going to jump into a blueprint. And the reason I'm going to jump into a blueprint, I don't use a lot of blueprints. Well, I haven't used a lot of blueprints yet. That's probably more accurate. This is a blueprint from my last playthrough, which I spent a decent amount of time on and made sure it was suitable for early-ish game. And this is sort of the point we're at right now. I'm going to be dumping you right. Actually, can I put you here? Yeah, let's put you here. Let's get you as far out of the way, put you near the copper, and we'll dump you right there. Now, I do want to have a couple of builders to help me out. I put one there and one here, and build you and build you. Okay, and I need more blue belts. Okay. The other reason we want to make sure we have hats on everything is you can actually open a hat and right-click on the item and pick it straight out of the hat, and therefore, you know, have it in your pocket, which is handy. Because what I want to do is I want to set up this build. This is a proliferation build. Now, we haven't spoken about proliferators yet. If you're new to the game, they were added in, not the last major update, but the one prior to that. And they're special. They do some unique things, like not having power. Really? You are so helpful. Okay, they do some unique things. They are here, and we have a Proliferator Mark 1. Now, Proliferator Mark 1 is like a spray. It's like a spray paint that you might put on things, and with your spray paint, you have 2 choices. When you've sprayed an item, and you then use that item and process it, you can get either 12.5% extra products when you're processing that item, or you can make the machine run 25% faster. So to simplify the maths, let's say I ran 100 pieces of copper through a copper smelter, and I had sprayed all the copper ore. Now, if I'd sprayed the copper ore with this particular spray, and let's say it ran at 100% speed up. 100% speed up, it means that rather than me needing to have, well, 12 smelters to make a full belt, I could do it with 6, because they'd all run 100% faster. They'd run at twice the normal speed. That would be cool. That would be handy. Or if I'd sprayed them and I got 12.5% extra products, Well, rather than putting in 100 copper ore and getting out 100 copper ingots, because it's a 1-to-1 recipe, I'd get out, I'd put in 100 copper ore and I get out 112 copper ingots. So it gives me just a little bit of bonus items. A little bit of bonus items at the cost of spray and also power. The good news is the ProLiferator Mark 1, the very first spray, cost coal. We did look earlier, I have 9 million coal on this planet. So we're good on coal. I have less than 1 million copper. Copper's a little bit of a worry. So we're going to convert our coal into copper. But that's not all we're going to do, because we're also going to look at the second level spray. The second level spray takes out extra products from 12.5% up to 20%. The good news is, recipe-wise, it requires, 2 of the Mark 1, so it's going to use a little bit more copper. In fact, it's going to use twice the amount of copper. It's going to use a little bit more coal, twice the amount of coal. It also requires diamonds. Now, diamonds come from energetic graphite, which comes from coal. So we're going to use even more coal to make even more bonus copper. Yeah, so we're going to be setting up this little build here. Now, this little build has a couple of problems. One, I need to upgrade sorters, please. All of them, because I don't have tier 1s. Well, I don't have tier whatever sorters these were. Yep. Are we good now? I think we're good now. I need to see all the sorters exist. They all exist. All right, I'm going to be happy with that. All right, next thing I need to do is I need to find my coal. Conveniently, I have 2 patches here. Now, there is a small problem with this particular blueprint. It's designed for 30 coal in on each belt, which means I need to have that Mark 3 belt, and I don't actually think... I got 17 belts on me. I don't actually think I have enough to get the full speed belt into this build. Can I rotate you and shove you in there? So, I don't know whether I have enough belt to run this at full speed, but that's okay. We can always upgrade the input belt later and get even more total spray out of our spray machines. Yes, our spray build. This is going to be our spray build. And I'm going to put one there and one there. Okay, so using the belt that I have available, actually using our power poles, and those that say that wind turbines are horrible, I'd like to point out to you a couple of very important things. One, I can drag these power poles. If I grab a normal power pole, there is nowhere to click and drag. There is a mod. You can install a mod to have that ability. The other thing I want to point out is you have a connection length of 22 meters and a coverage of 10 meters with 130 hit points. You have 200 hit points. You have a connection length of 16, but you're not really trying to stretch them halfway across the world. And if you are, click and drag and put down lots of them. And you have a coverage of 7.2. So not quite the same amount of coverage. Sure, it is a bigger building, so a bigger portion of that coverage is actually used up by the building itself. But more importantly, they also have more hit points and they make power. They are power poles that make power that I can click and drag around the map. That is the best type of power pole in my book. Okay, so I need to grab green belt. We're going to bring you to here, and then plug you into there. We're going to come out this side and do the same. We're going to come up to here and then into there, and then we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, you guys, same story. We're going to come from here to this line and then into there. Plug you in, plug, that's tight. You in, plug you in, plug you in. You can go that way, you can go that way, and you can go, sure. You can look stupid, I don't mind. Alright, Icarus, wherever you are, go stand over there. Alright. So that should be all we need to do. That should get everything running. Now, over here, we're going to have our coal coming to here. This is going to let us turn our coal into our Mark 1 juice. And then on this side, we're going to also bring in our coal. And we're going to turn that into, well, our energetic graphite. And then we're going to take our energetic graphite after it's gone through a sprayer. This is going to be important because we're going to get bonus products every step of the way. So after we have the spray fed through the system, it'll be afterwards, I'm going to get 20% extra graphite out of my coal. And then I'm going to take that coal, that graphite, I'm going to convert into diamonds with another 20% bonus. And then as I've sprayed both items, it's very, very important because it takes the lowest item that you've sprayed. So if I click on, let's go with this one. No. We've burnt through all the bad items. Okay. It takes the lowest item you spray. So if you've got one sprayed with a Mark II spray and one sprayed with a Mark I spray, it's going to use the Mark I spray. Or if you have a item that's been sprayed with Mark II spray and the other one hasn't been sprayed at all, it'll take the lowest common denominator being 0. So then you don't get any bonuses and you just end up spraying one item out of 2. But after we've made our Mark II spray, we're going to take that through here and we're going to feed it through the system so we make sure we get a 20% bonus every step of the way. And that's the very important thing. We're getting 20% extra bonus. Well, or look at it this way. We're using 20% less Mark I and diamonds to make the Mark II. Then I'm using 20% less graphite to make the diamonds. And then I'm using 20% less coal to make the graphite. These are a 1-to-1 recipe, okay? You need 1 graphite every 2 seconds. You make 1 graphite every 2 seconds. Which means, in theory, the graphite and the diamond build should be the exact same length. They're not. There's a slight difference because that 20% bonus. It does cost me some spray, but the other important thing is with my spray, each single bottle of spray is good for 24 sprays. Also, I'm spraying my spray. And because I'm spraying my spray, it's good for 28 sprays. Yeah. So, we're going to take our spray with a Mark II belt, because that's what I have access to. And we're going to run it out here. Thank you. And I'm going to run this at height 1, okay? I generally run my spray around at height 1, because that's the height it needs to go, it needs to be to run into the actual spraying units. And it makes it easier to just move it around if I already know it's at the right height to feed it straight into a sprayer. Okay, we're going to run this belt over here and then into there. And then I can remove that. And you can have whatever I picked up. And then I'm going to go into here. I'm going to get a sprayer. And the very first thing I'm going to do is flip you backwards and run my spray into this machine. Okay, so as that's now running on that machine, it means as the copper ore passes through it, I'm going to start getting 20% extra copper plate out of my copper ore, which also means I need to remove you and grab my belt, and I need to plug you back in. So I'm going to take you over to here, I guess, and you need to go to there. Okay, so you can move forward one more tile, and of course it clips the back of that, so we'll go to here instead, and then up a tile and plug that into there. Cool. Alright, can I throw in... Nope, not you. One of you. Can I put you here? Yeah, seems to cover everything. Alright, so that's going to be our first stop. Yeah, our first stop's great and all, but I have more plans for our sprayer. We obviously use copper elsewhere, so we should look at other places we use copper, and therefore other places I can spray with our wonderful spray. We're going to bring it over this way, and then down... Nope. Down to here. Okay. Okay, remove that. And Icarus, walk this way. Alright. And I'm obviously running out of power. Can I remove that box? Thank you. Throw those in there. And we should be good. Alright. Next thing I want to do is I want to start spraying my science. Because we use a lot of science. Like, a lot of science is burnt up. We just talked about what the tech tree was going to look like for the intermediate future, and we're talking thousands of science packs. So what I want to do is I want to run on my spray. Lack of item. What? Really? I'm out of belt. Okay. I want to run my spray through here. Currently, we have a hash rate of 60 per second, which is like how fast I'm making science, how fast I'm using science, how fast I'm actually doing science. But after I start spraying my science and then I start feeding it into the system, after all 3 of you at least have 1 arrow, and you have to have 1 arrow each, we will start getting, well, a hash rate of 67.5 because I have 25% extra products, which means research has got 12.5% cheaper. Now they're all sprayed. I'm getting research 20% cheaper, not faster, cheaper. Okay, all right, I need to make sure we're requesting belts. We are, but we're out of range. Can I move closer then? Actually, can I move to here? Because I did say I need to fix these. We're going to put a hat on you. And you are going going to distribute to other boxes. There's one available route. We can already see steel's going to start leaving from there. Can I pick you up? And you... I might pick you up too. Okay, alright. Am I close enough to get belt delivered? Yes, at a grand rate of 70, 80 per minute. I want belt faster, please. Alright, whilst we're waiting then, let's go back to the ball and let's do a few things here. So, we got a research done, and it's the only one I'm going to set by hand, because it's one I want to have up and running, and it's this guy. And I want you to start making these. Cool. That's going to start using our accumulators that we've been producing, and that's good for now. I have one fidget spinner on me. That's not enough, but I should have... I haven't any belt, but we can find some belt. Belts. That'll do. Cool. All right. With that done, I want to grab my juice. When I grab my juice, I want to bring my juice further this way, because there's a number of things I want to juice. Yeah. We're going to grab the juice, which technically doesn't really need to be on a Mark III belt, a Mark II belt. I'm not going to use it that fast currently. Like, the build can make it run that fast, but I'm not going to use it that fast currently. And I want to run on top of the copper belt, because we're going this direction. And we have one here. Okay, in that case, can I put one here? Here. That should cover us. Alright, Icarus, keep moving this way. We'll leave the Autobots to build things. Yes, I made that pun. Just roll with it. Okay, just roll out. Alright, can I put you here? Alright, so this is the copper that we were using. Okay, it's coming over here, and we're doing a couple of things with this copper. So this is probably our first pit stop. So we're bringing the copper here. We're using the copper. We're combining it with magnets to make our magnetic coils. Now, if I got 20% extra magnetic coils, I'd also be using less copper overall, because like the whole build's assigned to the amount of copper coils I've made. And therefore, if I start making too much of them by 20%, I'm going to stop producing them. Okay, eventually the belt will back up, in theory, providing everything's built to ratio, and therefore it'll stop building. Therefore, I'll be actually using less copper. The other thing we're making is we're making electronic circuits, which are coming over here and going to processors. Now, processors we already talked about were one of our big uses of copper, mainly because they use both the green circuits and the microcrystalline components. So what I'm thinking is, if we grab a sprayer, and I put a sprayer here and a sprayer here, I can spray both these items. Now, copper ends here. It also continues down to these pink things. We'll talk about those maybe in the future. If I also spray the iron, that would give us the bonus on the circuit boards. But I'm going to spray the circuit board, or I'm going to spray the iron for those. It'll also affect the gears, so I'll get 20% extra gears. But then the iron's going to come down here, and I'm going to have one item sprayed. The gears are not actually being sprayed yet, so I won't get any bonus gears, well, bonus production, because I only have one item sprayed, not all three of them. So I didn't have all three of them being sprayed to get that bonus. But we can also spray microcrystalline component right here. And if I spray that and the green circuits, same story, I get 20% extra CPUs, which means I'd be using, well, less overall copper, because in theory the build would max out. So we're going to start with this as our start, and I have some juice, 28 juice. Can I put 28 juice just in this machine? Cool. That's why it's out of my inventory. All right, so that's going to be our step one. We're going to juice these up. Okay, that's going to cut down on our copper usage, but as I did mention, the gears are going to get that bonus, and down here the magnetic coils, magnetic coils are not being sprayed, but the iron is being sprayed. So one thing I could do is I could put up here, I could put a sprayer here and here to catch those two items, and I could spray them. I could also put one over the iron, okay, you know, and not spray it, because you can't spray an item second time. But I could put these guys here, and we could spray them on the way past. Which is maybe not a bad idea. In fact, it's a really good idea. I really like this idea. How the hell do I get to there? I go down the same lane as processors. Yes, okay. I disconnect that there. I'm going to run you flat and then into there. So then we're going to come out here. logistics, drone flight speed, and other flight speeds. Okay, then I'm going to come around that, because that's going to be my best option, and into here, and then through you guys. Cool. Now, on to my next item. We are now going to definitely be spraying our magnetic coils right here. And as you can see, the belt's now backed up because, well, I'm getting extra products out, which means this little machine has a little icon on it saying, hey, I'm not running anymore. So again, I'm saving copper. I'm saving copper every single time I spray an item. Providing everything's a ratio, things are going to start backing up because I'm not using them anymore. But you are being sprayed all the way up there. Now, when you make it all the way down to here, well, I'm going to have 1 out of 2 items sprayed. The other item's not sprayed, therefore it doesn't get a bonus. But if I was to... Oh, there they are right now. Yep. New feed in. Yep. So you are being sprayed, but you're not being sprayed, therefore no bonus. But if I was to spray the engines right about here, by flipping you the other way, then I could get a bonus for the green engines. Now, the green engines do cost engines, which do cost copper, plus they also require magnetic coils, which also cost copper. So, again, I should get 20% extra blue engines out of the system. Then I have green engines, and then I have the blue engines. Now, the blue engines do cost the electromagnetic turbines. They also cost magnets, which is iron, and they cost energetic graphite, which is coal. Also, they have belts in the way, so I don't really have a good spot to spray these guys. So we're not going to spray them. You cost green things, plus you cost copper, plus you cost the graphite, which are all right here. Now, can I get a way to get a sprayer into this section? Okay, so the copper is this belt of copper, which we have sprayed, and it's working its way down slowly. Can I put a sprayer... No. So I'd have to put a sprayer here, which you can stack sprayers. It's one of those features, Dyson Sphere features. You can stack things. So I could put a sprayer here, or I could try and drop this belt faster. I think what we're going to do... It does mean every single green engine on the bus is going to get sprayed, which is a bit of a waste. Yeah, I don't think we're going to spray those. I think we're going to leave this here. I do have an option for the whole bus to get sprayed. Okay, it is an option. It is allocated. You can spray every item on the bus. Some things are probably worth it. Other things are not worth it. All depends on how you feel about your resources. Actually, can I get you to up and up? Yeah. And down. Yeah, I don't know if that's really what I was going for, Icarus. I think that's more sad belts, but it's a valid belt, so that's fine. You go around the power pole and I have room to run spray through there should I want to. All right, one other place I do want to run spray is the other place we're mainly using copper, which is this patch. This is our second most used patch. We do have one at starting science, but it's hard to see because it's dark, and this is why I turn on the light mod, but I don't really have a good way of getting a sprayer in here as it's just so tight. But the second place we're using copper, being this belt right here into this copper smelter, that is the spot where I can get a sprayer. So we're going to put one last sprayer in. I'm thinking that tile. I'm thinking that tile. Okay, so where's our spray belt? Our spray belt's here. So we can bring you over top of our green motors. Yep. That tile there. And then we're going to run this way. Yeah, that way through to there. Cool. And that'll, again, make sure we're using less copper to run the whole bus. So, again, it should save us a bunch of materials. An awful lot of materials over time. All right, with that done, our power grid-wise, we are using a little bit more power. Not a whole lot more power, but we are using just a little bit more power, and it's probably going to get much worse in the not-too-distant future. First thing I need to do is I need to do something about our, titanium and also our high-purity silicon. We don't have enough of it because our vessels don't travel fast enough. We can grab that research. We can also upgrade the carry capacity for our robots. This is going to give them plus 100. That'll give them another plus 100. That's purple science. So that's not going to happen. So they currently carry interstellar logistics vessels. They currently carry Well, they're currently carrying 200, and that's going to add another 200, so they're going to carry twice as much. They also travel at 600 meters per second. This is going to get them 50% extra. So that's 900 seconds. No, because it's off the base speed. That is the base speed. Okay, so it should go from 600 to 900 meters per second. Yeah, and then we get more researchers after I get purple science unlocked, which is going to take some time. But we can get these researchers. All right. After those research is done, we have unlocked the gas giant exploration, the interstellar power and transmission, which is going to be very important in the future. We've also unlocked the integrated logistics system. We're going to need to get purple science unlocked, I need to unlock the particle controller. Yep. And that's actually it. So we're going to do this one, followed by this one, followed by this one. Okay. Then we're going to have to come back and we're going to have to get the miniature particle collider, so on and so forth, to unlock the gravitational wave refraction, to unlock warpers. But with all that said and done, I think I need to leave this video here. Hopefully with a couple of upgrades, you guys should run a little bit faster. Hopefully. And hopefully with a little bit more upgrades, well, we can continue our dominance of, well, at least our system, and then hopefully in the not too distant future, the whole galaxy. You are red because you have too many items in you. You actually have 11 items over the cap, which is fine because we just need to find a way to use them. And where do we get up to? You're done. Nope, you're not done. You're not done. You're not. You are done. You're now done. And I need to click on these a few times until I run out of bots. Yep. Coming up. And hopefully, where are we? So that's the hats themselves. The bots are here, and you are out of processes. And the reason we're out of processes is because we have no silicon. Yep. And I have no crystal silicon either, or silicon. Okay. One thing we might do before we're done with the video is I am relying on my silicon, which doesn't come in terribly well, to make it all the way through this build and out the other side before it hits the bus. So what I want to do, I didn't spray it. Oh God, I'm an idiot. I meant to put a sprayer right there, and I missed it. Okay, what I want to do is I want to put a cut in this belt. Cool. Logistics. We're going to put a cut here. We'll put one of these in here. We're going to bring you into the top lane. And then from the bottom lane, we'll take that back out. And then from the top lane, we're going to bring this up and over the top. All the way through to here. And then outer tile, and then I'm going to tag that in there. So that way 50% of my silicon, cool, that'll make them fly a little bit faster. Bring that back up, 900 meters per second. Yep, that's much faster. Okay, I'm going to bring that up and above. I'm going to bring the I'm going to bring the unsprayed. Yeah, because we don't really need to spray the diamond, the crystal silicon, because we're not using a lot of it in the bus. It does mean technically some of it could be sprayed and some of it could be unsprayed. I should do it after the sprayer. Okay, let's do it after the sprayer. You can get the sprayer and flip you backward. And then hopefully you fit. You do just. You go into there, you go into there, you go into there on the top lane, and you go into there. That'll do us. Okay. And then, yes, unit spray. We're going to take 50% of the supply. I'm going to run it directly into the bus because, well, I need to have crystal silicon. Crystal silicon is actually really important to having accumulators. Yes, and I need them in the future. But, yeah, with all that said and done, I think this is where we're going to leave today's episode. We've made good progress. Our fidget spinners are flying faster. Our logistics vessels are flying faster. I still definitely have a supply issue. Just trying to get stuff across the system fast enough. But, you know, the more upgrades we get, the more likelihood we have for being able to keep up with supply and demand. You currently have 0 in stock, but there's 1,200 on the way. If we get, what's this? Another double the carry capacity, that might work. My other options, I can always travel back to the other planet and drop in some more vessels there, so we can have, well, both the both these vessels pulling and these vessels pushing. But yes, I am definitely running over time. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you in the very next video. All right, bye.